there. So it's a celebration. 15,000 subscribers, and I have my horn here. I am going to pour myself a horn of beer now. Look at this. Cheers. Oh, that's good. Oh. Now, 15,000 subscribers. It's what's up? Well, I'm celebrating 15,000 subscribers. I don't know if you can see that my channel has 15,000 yet. I think there's some kind of delay in the YouTube system. It's I have my stats tells me that it's 15,164, something like that at the moment. So well beyond 15,000 subscribers, which is awesome. Thank you, Corey. Well, and also more important, I would say, my son, he has made greetings from Ireland. Thank you, William, and greetings and cheers from Norway. My son has his first YouTube video. He and a friend of his, they have a YouTube channel. So I'm going to do a shout out to my son's channel, and hello, Tennessee. If you go to my profile, my channel page here on YouTube, you will see that on the right hand side there are a few channels under recommended and friends. You'll find channels like Northmen and the Norwegian folk Viking band Eldrim, and you'll also find a new channel, Bragj og Sami. So now they are 10 years old, so they are just playing around with the camera a little bit, and they went out in the forest here, and they no, well, I would say, well, I'll get to that if I remember in a moment. French Viking, cheers. Now, so they went up into the forest here, and they went looking for one of my cameras. I actually have a camera strapped to a tree here, a night mode camera and so on. But anyway, they made their first video. Yes, the live stream has started. But anyway, if you would like to just go to his channel and give them a thumbs up, that would be awesome. I would really appreciate if you'd like to do that. Now, they are boys, so it's not, do not expect like a cinematic quality yet. It's their first video. But anyway, cheers, and I felt that I had to say thank you to all of you who are subscribing to this channel. As I've said before, it means a lot to me. Now, when you drink from a horn, I would say always drink with a tip up, because if you drink with a tip down, you get past that magical angle where all the mead or the beer in the bottom just comes in, and your beard will be wet then. Now I'm going to scroll up the comments a little bit. Oh, thank you, David, for liking my son's video. Well, thank you, Corey. That's very kind of you. From Russia. Cheers. Oh, I should have. Now, I do remember cheers in Russian, almost, so I won't try to say it. Oh, sorry. Jay says, I really like the music you link to in some of your videos. Yes, I always know the artists, and I always ask for permission to use the music, of course. So I have been very fortunate to be able to use music from skilled musicians, and hopefully I have been directing some web traffic to their YouTube channels, and hopefully that will have increased their sales as well. It's snowing. Oh, it's not snowing here in southeastern Norway now, but it's quite cold. It's about 11 degrees Celsius below zero. Oh, that's too kind, Corey. Ah, Privet. Privet. Yes. Privet. Now, when I'm leaning forwards, it's just that because I'm scrolling, I'm using my cell phone actually. Oh, Spirit Forest, everybody. Spirit Forest, that's an awesome channel. It's one of those channels that I have not been watching enough. So I'm going to watch your videos in binge watching is what it's called, I guess, with your tent, your canvas tent, and that whole thing there. It's very fascinating. So check out that channel. It's a great channel. Also, now if you haven't, if you were not here at the start, this is a shout out to my son's new channel, my son's and one of his friends' channel, and they have their first video out now. So it's one of my recommended and friends, one of the channels on my recommended and friends to the right on the channel, my channel page. They have a little bit. It's a bit difficult. The name Brags og Sami. So they would be. You would really make their day if you just gave their first video a thumbs up. So now I'm very subjective because I'm obviously the father here, so I think they did great with their first video. I have disabled comments because, trolls and so on here on YouTube. So, but okay. Now let's see. I'll scroll up again. Oh yes, Spirit Forest. You totally inspired me to learn more about my family's background. Yes, because I know you're partly Norwegian, right? Yeah, well, 15,000. This channel grew from 10,000 to 15,000 in 4 weeks. So that's incredible. But they say that if you, well, people who know YouTube, they say that if you make like one video a week, you will get this kind of exponential growth. For me, my channel has been, I've had this channel for like 2 years now, 2 years and a few days. So it's nice to see that it's growing fast now. It's not important to me to have a large channel. That's not important in itself, but it's just it's telling me that what I'm doing is this is just a hobby, and it's telling me that it's got some my videos maybe are meaningful to people. So that's very motivating to me. Now let's see. Where's the video link? I'm a little bit. I'm using my cell phone, and I'm just figuring out how to do this live stream. Jay, the video, the channel link is under recommended and friends, and when I finish this live stream, I will put the video link in the video description to this live stream. It's like I'm almost running down to the shop now, buying a Munkholm. I've got Viking on my table next to my bed. Munkholm, it's non-alcoholic beer. Non-alcoholic, do you hear that, YouTube? I'm not drinking alcohol. I don't know, maybe that's illegal in the YouTube system. I don't know. It's I don't know, but it's non-alcoholic beer anyway. Hello, Ivan. Now, I must say that I'm trying to figure out this this option where you can announce the live streams. I haven't figured that out yet. I'm getting there. So, cheers. One other shout out I would like to do is, I think it was the first Skål, the first channel that I maybe not the first channel I watched, but here on YouTube, but one of those channels that it was one of the first channels I discovered here on YouTube, and I've been watching his videos ever since. It's Wiltshire Man, like Wiltshire, that area in England. Wiltshire Man, he's got hundreds of videos, and it's well, it's lots of outdoors and bushcraft videos. So yeah, well, so check out Wiltshire Man. It's a channel I'm always looking forward. No, Wiltshire Man. No, Wiltshire. W-I-L-T Shire. Wiltshire. About the tip again. Now, I've been drinking. Don't get me wrong here, but I've been drinking with the Swedes, the Grimfrost guys, and Amon Amart, and they have some experience in drinking from a horn, more experience in drinking from a horn than I have. And they told me, no, you must always drink with the tip up. Mm. Maybe you can do it sideways if, like a compromise. Yes, Wiltshire. Yeah, he's a very humble and skilled, nice guy. So he's very English, in a very in the good sense. I hope you're watching this, Sandy. Um, yes, a horn on its way to being empty is the only right way to drink. That's correct. Are drinking horns from Grimfrost any good? Yes, absolutely. They are. This one is not from Grimfrost. It's this is not. What's the strangest vessel you've taken a drink out of? Coconut, folded leaf. That's maybe not so strange. Some recommendations for Viking Markets this year. Well, I think I think they're all quite good, actually. I wouldn't say there are any of those that are bad. So I can't really reply to that in a. Let's see now. Thank you, Chris. That's very nice of you. Yes, well, about Viking markets, we have lots of Viking markets in Scandinavia, and as I said, I think they're all quite good. I think the one in Borre, same place where they have the. Sorry, I can't reply because I've been up since 4 a.m. and it's now 9, I think, in the evening, 9 p.m. So I'm getting a bit tired now. So I'll just drink this beer. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Also, I would like to add that my last video, not the live stream, but my last video about the Dane axe, got a great response. So thank you if you've been commenting on that. Thank you for that. The comments really help. But I haven't been able to reply to all the comments. I'm really sorry. I just haven't found the time, because when I add together all the comments during 1 or 2 days, on my channel it's like 200 or 300, and I haven't found the time. I'm trying to do that in my spare time, but I haven't had much spare time lately. Yes, if I practice powerlifting, yeah, well, I don't compete anymore. I'm not saying I won't compete anymore, because if I find more spare time again, I will probably be competing again. I have injuries in all of my body except my right ankle. Most of those injuries are healed, but I have some injuries in my lower back. Well, not exactly my lower back, but I won't get into details. What I'm saying is that my body is a little bit beaten up after many years of heavy lifting. I do love heavy lifting, and I do lift heavy when I train, but competing and training for competition is a little bit it's a little bit different and tougher than just training, because when I'm just training, I can adjust to how I'm feeling, and I can't really do that when I'm training for competition. Now, let's see. Yeah, well, maybe yes, about comments, I will reply to comments. It's just, it could take a while before I get there. But at some point, you just can't find the time. But then you have live streams like this, and here to reply, because that's essentially what I'm doing now. Oh, yes, I know. Thank you. Been here before 800 subscribers. Thank you. Yeah, well, I should add that both my ankles were uninjured, but I injured my left ankle, my calf there, when my son was younger, and he climbed up a mountain, not a mountain, but on a cliff. Like he would always climb up on tall structures, and I was no, don't, and I climbed after him, and I sprained, whatever it's called, my my muscle. So it was partly torn off halfway up there, and he climbed down, but I was stuck there. So it was maybe a little bit funny. I don't know, but that's why I hurt my left ankle. Oh, thank you. For your contribution. Alexandros is asking, how much Old Norse do you know? I don't know Old Norse. It's a language, and it's quite far from what I'm talking when I'm talking Norwegian. Let's see. Oh, Michael, I know you're lifting, right? You injured both hands and right knee. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard, but it's like, it's part of the game, right? So I guess just try to train around it in a way. Now let's see. Cameron, I'm a digital painter, and with your permission would like to paint a portrait of yourself. I often love to watch your video when I paint, so I return this kindness. Well, of course, go ahead. I'm very flattered by that. I don't know what to say to that. Maybe it's not the prettiest motif, I guess, but maybe that's not the point. Go ahead. That would be awesome. Yeah. Now let's see. Yes, Michael. Yeah, just be careful. I mean, it just takes time to put things into perspective. Even though I'm much less injured now than I was when I was in my early 20s, because then I was in the national team and here in Norway, and well, it was kind of, we were training very hard. So unless I had much more pain back then than I do now. That being said, I peaked my all-time personal records. I did those around the 40 years, when I was 40 years old, in all 3 lifts. So it just takes time. It's easy to say. Oh, take care. Yeah, the old Norse religion still lives. Yeah, it does. Now, but also it's very much open to interpretation, I guess, because it's not. I hate to see dogmatic thinking when it comes to, well, anything really, but especially Norse, the Norse belief system. Hi there. I'm having trouble reading all the comments now. I'll do my best. Now let's see. Yeah, well, the mead horn. Yes, well, I bought this at a Viking festival. Actually, I was a little bit against buying one of these horns because, if you look at the size, my thinking is that it would have been rare to see a Norseman carrying a horn this size, and I try my best not to be one of those guys who, they dress like the richest man in Scandinavia, and but I bought it. I wanted a big drinking horn, so yeah. Now, yeah, my son's channel. Well, it's if you go to my channel page here on YouTube, you'll see on the right hand side it says recommended and friends, and it's one of those channels on that list there. It's called Bragsh og Sami, that channel. They have one video, and do not expect cinematic quality. They are just playing around with the camera, and they are not allowed yet to do vlogs and so on. So because they are young, so they took the camera for a walk up in the forest, and they are having a bit of fun. That's all. So they would be well, thank you, Ella. They would be very glad for any thumbs up on that video and subscribers, so yeah. Oh, second subscriber to the now let's see. Thank you. Jay says, I saw Canunos carvings in some of your videos. He's an oldie here in Ireland. Is that figure common there too? I can't remember which video, but I would like to say that Canunos is a very important, he's quite important to me personally. I won't get into details, but farewell, David. I think we might get a shot of the first recorded drunk Viking. I hope I don't look drunk because it's non-alcoholic beer. But anyway, cheers. The thing about drinking from a horn is you can't put it on the table, right? So you have to empty it. Skål. Now I'm celebrating 15,000 subscribers, and I'm doing that by, I'm celebrating, it's a proud Norwegian tradition to celebrate like this, alone in your shed, drinking. So that's the way we do it here. Thank you. Greetings from Norway. Jeff says Thor is not amused about my non-alcoholic beer. Well, no, but it's like, maybe I'll have to be careful here, but well, if this was mead, which is actually quite strong in alcoholic content, I would have had to go and sack Constantinople at the end of this horn, and that's illegal now. Now, Jay says you should make a horn holder. Yeah, well, I have one. Like this. But you can't see it. It's below the camera. Oh, Sicily. Yes, well, Athena's Yurikov says, aren't writers and artists keen on alcoholic beverages? Yes, well, that is one of the reasons why I don't drink alcohol, because it's a dangerous habit, and it's easy to make that a habit when you're a writer, actually. Oh, you don't get into trouble if you drink alcohol, beer, whiskey in the USA. No, that's good to know. And Michael is asking, are they from Grimfrost? No, actually this is from a Viking market, and I can't remember the name of the maker. Sorry. Yeah, it's more fun to hold the horn. It is. Yeah, it's true. Mjød is quite strong. When I brewed mead, it was about 14%, and people got drunk. That's the truth. They didn't think it doesn't taste like, it's easy to drink a lot of mead. It's easy to drink, which results in people getting drunk. Cheers. Danish mead, it's 19%. Well, Michael, I have to say, the Danish, they are in a way, they have the best axe and the best mead. I really love Denmark. I think all Norwegians, we have this fascination for Denmark. Yeah, and Danes are a bit crazy. That's true, but in a good way. So I have friends from Denmark, and my part of my ancestry is from Denmark. So I'm a big fan. Now let's see here. We Danes are a bit crazy, yes. Meat goes down easy and affects you in an awesome way. Yes, well, uh, that is the truth. Yes. Mm, um, but the day after, it's not so nice. So, yeah. Now let's see. Skål from Scotland. Well, Scotland is my second homeland, I would say. I've been to Scotland 5 times now. I really love Scotland. It's skål. That's cheers. Now, one thing I find a little bit strange is that people, especially from North America, they say skål, and to Norwegians in the meaning like goodbye. So it's like they. Do you think we're all alcoholics? Like, skål. Yeah, the reason I don't drink the next day. Yes, well, I think it's something that happens when you get older. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about myself. The day after becomes worse as you get older. So many people I've spoken to, they say that when you're 30, you can't stand it anymore. But when you're 20, you can go straight from a party and hang over and work out at the gym. That's what I've heard. Yeah. Cheers from Finnmark in north of Norway. Yeah, we have to talk about what content videos will be about in next video and next videos. Well, I noticed that whenever I make a Viking themed video, it's very popular, which is very nice. But this channel is also a bushcraft and outdoors channel. So and I'm really passionate about bushcraft. There's something about it. Of course, Viking life and bushcraft. It's like it's to me it's the same. And I'm not going to be controlled by ratings and views. I'm going to make videos that I personally would like to see. So so I'm going to make one video featuring all my axes. Yeah, well, thank you. Viking bushcraft. Yeah, well, I'm going to make a video, maybe next video, about all my axes. I would like to make a video. I would have liked to make a video demonstrating the Siberian log fire and what we call nying, and a normal fire. And I would use the snow to show you where the heat goes from those 3 different fires. Now, the only problem is that we don't have any snow anymore here. So also, I would like to make a video about just lunchtime out in the woods. Now, I'm the worst chef in the entire boreal forest. I'm really bad at making food. I can boil an egg, so and I can try to do my best. Yes, the Siberian fire melted all the snow, so your fault. Yes. Yes. Do you have any historical evidence that Vikings they had horned helmets? There is one. Is it a carving or a? Maybe someone can help me out here. Either some. I think it's a carving from a. Is it a blot or some ceremonial thing? There is one guy there. It looks like he's got a horned helmet, but that's, as far as I know, the only suggestion that would, you know, they had horned helmets. They would not have had horn on their helmets in battle, because anything that would a helmet is designed to deflect blows, right? So a horn will get like an axe caught here, and that's not good for your head. Like pomp and circumstance. Yes, skål. Hungry. Skål. Now, I try not. When I'm thinking about the Viking Age and well, let me put it this way: absolutism, if that is a word, I think it's a word. Being absolutely certain about something. It's not. It's the sign of uneducated. Excuse me. Absolutism is the trademark of uneducated people. Okay, that's the way I see it. When I talk to archaeologists, they are never absolutely certain about anything, because they are open to the fact that they are learning all the time. So I won't say that Vikings never, no Viking ever wore horned helmets. I think it's very unlikely, but I won't say that, no Vikings had ever put horn on his helmet. It's like with the belts. It's like saying no Viking had belts wider than this. That's just silly, because if there was like 200,000 people in Norway at around the year 1000, that's one estimate. Among 200, then you had 100,000 men, and some would they would have tried different sizes, widths of belts, right? So we don't know. Absolutism is bad. Yeah, what's your thoughts about women fighting in battles? The History Channel shows women fighting in battles. Well, I'm going to have to say that I think it's unlikely that females were trained as fighters and warriors. I think it's very unlikely that females females were recruited for armies. But I do think, and I do know, that females were taught to fight from an early age in pre-Christian Scandinavia. That was part of their upbringing. They would at least be taught how to use the bow and arrow. That's not speculation. We do know that. But we also have to remember that from archaeology, from finds, okay, the skeletons they've dug up were quite small, and the females were than the men. So that's not a big advantage. That's a disadvantage in battle. Now, the myth about the shield maiden. Now, I'm saying myth because we're talking about Viking Age, and a lot of what we know about, we thought we knew about Viking Age was probably myths. We also have to remember that the Christians later, they wanted to portray the heathens as very bad people, and females fighting would probably, if they told everybody that, oh, they had females fighting, that was not a good thing back then, okay? So, yeah, we don't know. I'm open to if they find like, now let's see here. I'll, yeah, of course. Females didn't have to be trained, just mess with one of their children. I'm getting to that. We're talking about trained fighters, right? And I'm saying that I don't think females were normally recruited and trained as fighters. That is not the same as saying that females did not fight. I think they did, of course, fight when they had to. They fought to defend their land. And I think it's just silly to say that they would just sit there when enemies arrived. They would not just sit there, they would fight. But that's different from saying that they were trained professional fighters. We do also know that one of Eric the Red's children, Frøydis, she was quite an important figure and a leader, and a settler in North America, actually. Now, but again, we don't know. I said that absolutism is bad. So, yeah. Now, yeah, Trelleborg Festival. I would like to go to Trelleborg. Do you have a tagelharpe? No, I don't, but it's a wonderful instrument. It's very difficult to play. I've tried, and it didn't sound, you wouldn't have wanted to listen to me playing. The lyre is much more, is easier. Which one is best among Iceland, Norway, Denmark, and Sweden to live in? It's impossible to answer, you know. It's I can't really answer that. Yes, that's what Gary says, that it seems logical that everyone would fight when threatened with dire circumstance. Of course. Yeah, well, I'm talking about, I didn't want to offend people about my talking about female fighters. All I'm saying that I think it was offensive fighting was done mostly by men. It just makes sense, okay? Also because they had children that they had to look after, and bringing up children was a woman's work. So offensive fighting would probably have been a male-dominated thing, okay? But defensive fighting is totally different, because then you just have to fight, you know, and a full-time job, yeah. Good evening, Timothy. Nice to see you here. Yeah, well, offensive fighting is something you have to do. Now, that's why I'm saying that they were trained from an early age to fight. But fighting and hunting it's it's very much the same in a way, in a sense, you know. Now, good morning. Yeah, well, it's actually very late now, and yeah, I'm celebrating 15,000 subscribers, and I'm doing a shout out to my son's first video here on YouTube. So you'll find his channel if you go to my channel page, and you see on the right hand side recommended and friends, and there is one channel there called Biraj og Sami, and they have one video. Cheers. So they would be very happy for a thumbs up, maybe even a subscription. What's in the Hornbjörn? It's non-alcoholic beer, actually. I have to get up early in the morning. Thank you, Chris. Is Norwegian language difficult to learn? Well, they say it's not the most difficult, but it's I've heard it's more difficult than to learn than for instance Spanish is. So it depends. If you're English, it's probably not very difficult because it's somewhat similar. Oh, thank you, Spirit Forest. He'll be very glad when he learns that you gave him a thumbs up. Now, maybe he can speak English. Well, he's 10 years old, so and this is just, you know, they are just starting out and playing with the camera a little bit. But his English is quite good, actually. But I think they'll speak Norwegian for now. Frisian is easiest language to learn for English speakers. That's interesting. Yeah, well, very interesting. Does the evidence dug up seem to support the idea that some grave goods were ceremonial, thin shields, pattern welded swords, versus what was buried with the dead after battles? Well, again, we don't know, but I'll tell you that it's a very interesting discussion because I used to say that the best we don't know really how the bows Vikings used looked, because bows are used up in a way. So the best bows, the best hunting bows, the best war bows, they ended up as broomsticks in the end there. So we don't, you know. Camera and Yippee in my son's video. Well, yeah. Nordic men have high IQ. Well, yes. Well, thank you. I hope so. French was easier to learn. Well, I had French in school, actually. So I learned French. Now, but I've forgotten it all because I never had a job where I work where I used French, so I didn't get to use French, so I forgot all about what I learned. Yeah. Eldrim, it's a band. That's correct. One of my recommended and friends channels. Yeah, that they play Viking and medieval age music. Yeah, back to the subject of upcoming videos and what should those videos be about. Yeah. Now I'm trying to make a video every week, so it's difficult to make videos that takes a lot of time to now I'm getting lost here a little bit. Okay, how do you? I'm trying to reply to the questions. How do you pronounce the name Auden? Auden? Audun, maybe. What is your favorite Viking song? Yeah. What is a Viking song? Like modern songs with a Viking theme, or yeah, how about some videos on Viking traveling foods? Yes, that's I'm thinking a little bit about making one of those. But again, I have a little bit of a problem with me being such a terrible chef. Now, coastal foraging, yeah, that's another one. Actually, seaweed is a very good food source, and we have a lot, and it's easy to find. I'm trying to learn about seaweed, and now thank you, Matt, for spending time with me here. Cooking is easy. Yes, well, I have bought a book about Viking food, and as soon as I get time, I'll read that book and I'll try out the recipes, at least some of them. It says you found king burial mounds and stuff in southern Norway, and almost every time I take a walk in the woods, I discover something new. Truly a gift that keeps on giving. Yes, there's a lot, and I know, people, they have this thing that sends a sound down in the ground, and they a metal detector, and they seem to find Viking artifacts all the time. It's very fascinating. Will you make videos on how to cook Viking foods for travel? Yes, I want to, but I'm not. It's actually embarrassing how poor I am at making food. It's I need to, yeah, learn how to do that. Oh, is that your son? No, I'm sorry. There are lots of messages, comments here now. Your son's name, was that Audun? Are you doing permaculture? No, I'm a very boring, normal person with a normal house and normal car, and so no, I'm not. I would like to do that. I think some comments now in, I don't know, Italian. I don't know Italian. I'm sorry. Yeah, Yes, and a video about longships. Now, that's one other video I'm going to make because I know the people who works at the museum where they have the longships, and I also know the people who made the replica. So I'm trying to find time to do that and to show you some details from the like how the ship is built, because I haven't found videos about the details where they go close to the details. So I would like to do that. It might take a while, and I don't know yet if I get permission to film inside the museum. So I'll have to make some arrangements there. If that's Italian, I'm sorry, I don't understand. If I've been in a longship, yes, I have studied longships in detail at the museum in Oslo, the replica at the other side of the fjord, and also in Denmark. Yeah. I haven't sailed one myself. That's my. I've only stood there, aft, but I haven't been able to sail and steer. I mean, to steer a longship myself. So Roskilde in Denmark. Yes. So that's my dream. It's yeah. Yeah, most museums, they like the publicity, so they should allow you to film. I hope so. Would it be an interesting project for the boat, to make a boat for the clown? Yes, that would be awesome. Yes, the shipbuilder was an important person in the Viking Age. And what I'm drinking, well, it's non-alcoholic beer actually. Now, and I have to apologize because comments they move very fast up the screen, and when I scroll up the screen to read the comments, then I lose track of everything here. If I could say something in Norwegian, ja, det kunne jeg vel. Jeg kunne si at skål, for eksempel. So that was a bit of Norwegian. Skål. If you haven't seen my latest video demonstrating the Dane axe, then please do. It's very popular at the moment, that video. I think it was quite fun to make that video because I like my axe. Thank you. How did you become? Sorry. No. No. How did you become a Viking and why? Strictly speaking, I think I'm not a Viking in the traditional historic sense, of course, but in a modern sense I am, if that makes sense at all. Now it's been like this all my life. I don't know why. My mother tells me that I was very intrigued by the Viking Age at a very early age. From when I learned to read quite early, and I read. We had books about not the sagas themselves, but when I was a little kid, I would read fairy tales and myths and so on, and some of them with strong links to Viking mythology. So it started very early. So I don't know why. But there's a connection. Many people feel that connection. It's a connection that is very hard to explain. Maybe it's something almost in our genes. I don't know. Did you? What's this? Did you play video games as a kid? No, I'm 45 years old. We had no video games. Well, at least I didn't. So I've never played video games. Okay. No, we had. I was fortunate that I think I'm the last generation who grew up without video games and lots of channels on TV and so on. Things are very different now. Not everything was better before. I'm not one of those guys who's, is going to. I'm not going to say that everything was better when I was back in the old days, because that's just not true. I think that cell phone, for instance, it's not all bad. I know my days at school, especially when I was a teenager, would have been much happier if I had social media and access to a cell phone. That might surprise some people that I'm saying that, but it's but anyway, I digress, as they say. Now I'm sorry. I have lost track of the messages, the comments now. Now I just noticed Viking was sold in Bulgaria to Bulgaria. Please tell me this. Yes, well, it's being translated and it will be published in Bulgaria. I don't know when, but they are translating now. And they are translating that novel to 7 languages now. It's except Norwegian, it's published in Norway now already. Of course, so it's being translated to Swedish, Danish, German, Polish, Dutch, Russian, Bulgarian, and I hope to be able to say that it will also be published on the English language market soon. But it's up to my agents. Okay. Oh, thank you, Spirit Forest. But I'll have to call it a day now. I haven't had dinner yet, but I had my beer. No, let's see here. Is there a remote possibility to have the Spanish? Yes, I hope so, because it's a very important market. Obviously, because lots of people speak Spanish. Oh yes, Johan. Yes, you've been on this. You've been following this channel since just over 20 subscribers. Thank you. It's awesome, because those very first subscribers, they are, there's something special about that. The very first subscribers. So thank you. And cheers from Australia. Thank you. So, okay. For now, cheers and god natt. Have a nice day or evening. Okay. We'll talk later. Take care.